Let's talk about the filming of My Son Hunter. The film depicts the sordid life that Hunter led and his criminal behavior, which implicates his father, the President of the United States. Phelim, weren't you concerned for your safety and that you might end up committing suicide just like Jeffrey Epstein?
You know what? I was not concerned, and I was naive. Actually.
Foolish, right?
Yes. yeah. Because look, we're filmmakers, we're journalists. Like, surely, So we filmed My Son Hunter in Serbia. We filmed Gosnell in Oklahoma, which was great. And then we just felt this needed something different. And I suppose to make a movie about Hunter Biden's life, you need beautiful women, strip bars. And Serbia has plenty of beautiful women in strip bars, I believe.
Well, what do you mean you believe? You were there.
Yeah, but obviously I wouldn't have gone to strip bars. Come on now.
Well, you might have looked at one or two just for accuracy.
For scouting purposes, research.
Right.
Yes, just to get the atmosphere right. Of course. So we were there, and this is as true as God. This is a story. And we're there, and next thing, one of the actors says, "Hey, I've been approached by a documentary crew. They're from South Park. They're part of the South Park team. They're here making a documentary about Hunter Biden, and they wanted to talk to me." I'm saying, "I hope you didn't talk to them." And he goes, "No, only for 3 hours." Mm-hmm. Actors, once you start asking them, they will talk. So, although I can't talk.
So wait a minute. Let me get this straight. You guys were there making a film, and this actor comes up to you and telling you that there's another team making a film about Hunter Biden.
Yeah, it's a documentary. So the next thing, they approach me, and it's this guy who was the lawyer for South Park, right? Sort of the third wheel of South Park. And South Park had just signed this $800 million deal, I think, with Paramount, and they're expanding their reach into documentaries, into this, into that. And so they're making a documentary about Hunter Biden, and that kind of fits with the whole South Park thing, kind of crazy libertarian stuff. They wanted to come on the set, film the filming, then do interviews with me, and then do interviews with the actors, interviews with the director. And a lot of people were skeptical, and I said, no, it's like, all publicity is good publicity. And the South Park guys, they're kind of libertarian. They kind of would be sympathetic to what we're trying to do, tell the truth and all, and make fun, but also in a serious way, say something serious. And it's fine, and they filmed for several days. One thing I did notice, they had the camera on the whole time, which I thought, wow, they must have a great editor, because one of the
much film,
too much footage, right? It's the biggest.
Too long.
I think it was Francis Ford Coppola said, "Unlimited budget and unlimited time is the enemy of great art." And it really is a curse to have too much footage. And they interviewed me for a long time, and then they interviewed me again for a long time. And anyway, we came back, we were editing the film. 6 months later, news story, I think it was in the New York Post or somewhere. South Park lawyer has been representing Hunter Biden for over a year now. So he was Hunter Biden's lawyer, chief lawyer, infiltrated our movie set, asked me detailed questions. And of course, now I remember he was fascinated about how I got the laptop, how I got the hard drive, who my sources were, all this kind of information, right? So Hunter Biden's crew infiltrated our movie set to try and find out
what you were doing,
what our journalistic sources were.
But nothing happened as a result of that?
Well, I've made an ethics complaint to the California Bar Association.
Oh, good.
You're not allowed to
misrepresent yourself.
No, either, and I've read the regulations. Misrepresent yourself by commission or omission.
I see. Sure.
Failure to declare that you're representing
another party. The party,
yes,
right?
The party is an ethical violation. It's not enough that you remain quiet. You must proactively say, be careful, I'm representing this person. Now I'm going to ask you some questions.
Yeah.
So, but that shows you. But see, I should have known they came to Serbia in a private jet. See, when you have unlimited money, Hunter Biden, I think, has 19 lawyers now. 19.
Well, that might be one for every 5 cases against him.
Yeah, but when you're Hunter Biden, being Hunter Biden means never having to say you're sorry. This is a man who was getting $86,000 a month from a Russian-backed Ukrainian oil and gas company
For consulting.
Consulting. He got $3 million, just like that, from the mayor of Moscow's wife, the ex-mayor of Moscow's wife. He was involved in several China deals. It was basically, a tour of all America's enemies. And Hunter Biden was there getting money from them all.
And this is when his father was vice president.
When his father was vice president.
Right.
And he was introducing his business partners to his father. And he was flying on Air Force 1 and 2 with his father. I mean, it's smells to high heaven, and that's the most charitable interpretation of it. It's a great story. Again, you're not a real journalist if you're not covering this story.
It's a sad statement about America and our mainstream media, which for 4 years couldn't stop talking about Putin running President Trump.
Yes.
But now we have the laptop, we have all this data, all the money coming in from enemies of America to the son of the vice president or who would be president, and nobody says, and the mainstream media doesn't say anything.
Look,
it's okay.
I'm not talking about conspiracy theories. I'm not talking about.
It's not a conspiracy.
I'm not. I'm not saying but you cannot be honest and say this is not something worth investigating. Maybe it's all innocent, right? But look, you can't call yourself a journalist and not be extremely interested in the fact that the son of the drug addicted son, he was on the board of Burisma, and in his own autobiography said, I had to leave the board meetings every 20 minutes to get a hit of is it
cocaine or whatever?
Whatever. I think it was on meth. I can't remember. Meth, cocaine. Hey, I'm not an expert on that. That's not my expertise, that field. So I had to leave. So he was bringing nothing to the table. He knew nothing about Eastern Europe. He knew I know more about it. I've made 2 documentaries, one about mining and one about fracking and one about climate change. So I know more about the coal industry, the fracking industry, the oil and gas industry than Hunter Biden will ever know. I could have been and I've lived in Romania for 7 years as a Financial Times correspondent. I could have been on the board of Burisma. I know 10 times, 100 times more about that company.
And we know it's not fantasy. There's actually a video of Biden. It was taken while he was vice president, bragging that he had $1 billion bribe to the Ukrainians to fire the prosecutor who was looking into corruption. And it's on film.
It's on film.
Right. You won't get the $1 billion. Yeah.
You son of a bitch. They fired him. And
they fired him.
He was boasting about it.
Right. And he was the guy who probably would have investigated Burisma or those other entities.
Look, it doesn't matter if he was investigating his granny.
It doesn't matter.
He was a prosecutor,
right?
A leading prosecutor in the Ukraine, where his son was the director of a business, and he's boasting that he got that prosecutor fired.
Right.
It's like, imagine if his son had a business in Arizona and Joe Biden boasted, I got the district attorney in Arizona fired. That would be a scandal. This is a massive scandal.
It would be the same. It wouldn't be covered. It wouldn't be covered because the press, today's press, is in the pocket of the administration.
Yeah.